place between Mongolia and Russia. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like. Tuva is very isolated when it comes to being in the middle, the straight dab middle of China, the China area, and Russia. I will be Tuva for right now, and we'll look at Tuva. Well, what do I start with? 26 political power, I'm gaining more. 450k population, 51 stability, very low. But Tuva, Tuva is very isolated, and I only have 7,000 guns. So when I put my United troops, I have no military factories. I have no civs. I just try it right now. When I go here to recruit troops, I can only make 2,000 because I only have 2,000 population for the province. Only one province I have. I do have steel though, 7 steel. That means I can barely be invaded, but Tuva is really unimportant because you're so isolated that you can't really expand without support. See, I just made some troops. I start with 5,000. I make 2,000 units. Only 2,000 units. And my army is trash. Russia makes... Mongolia makes more units than me. Xinjiang makes more than me. You see, kind of clique. So does my clique. They're way better than mine. You know, Tuva only gets 5,000 units and then 7,000 plus manpower that I get. This one, Russia is leaning against the Russian FSR, but Tuva is so isolated between, you know, Russia, whoever wins the Russian Civil War, and China. So whoever has influence or, you know, power over Tuva basically will win the game. Or not, wait, not win the game. But if you have power over Tuva, it's basically a good steel-producing province, but it's very bad. And on party popularity, you have 31% democracy and 48% authoritarianism, so it's very bad to try and break them up, depending on what side you want to go into. But Tuva is very unimportant when it comes to like politics all around the world in Nation Rising Simulator. Because Tuva is like the backwater, like the north part of Mongolia that people don't really think about. Like, Tuva isn't part of China, it's just the small little cousin that's south of Russia who's really... not a threat to anybody, who's ignored for the most time. Nobody really cares about them. You know, in the game. Tuva's mainly seen as a meme, but it's strategically just unimportant because it is the same border with Mongolia. So if Russia takes Tuva, it basically doesn't mean anything. It means their border's longer. All the other Chinese states can basically destroy us. NY, Jili, Anfu, Fengtiang. And if Japan wants to expand in China, they can. They can literally destroy us. But you have such a small army in Tuva. In the first couple years of a new server, you need to wait until you get enough political power to change to early mobilization or volunteer only to get to there and then get more manpower. It's very hard. Like all the other European states have even stronger armies. Most of them are like 5,000, 10,000. Albania's army 4,644 and 5,000 up to north in Yugoslavia, but it's better than mine. As Tuva, it's only 5,000. Europe's in a bunch of war right now, but Tuva is just like the isolated, landlocked country that, you know, it only really matters if... Actually, doesn't matter to any other countries. Unless you reunite China, then you might want Tuva for steel. It's only important for steel. And I can't declare on Russia, but Russia has a better army than me. And if Russia does occupy me, it just makes another longer border with Mongolia. That's all it does, is make the border with Mongolia longer. And it doesn't really affect any other politics that are going on, you know, geopolitically, what that word means, but it only affects the sphere of what Japan can do, but it doesn't really do anything because Tuva is just a backwater. And Tuva really cannot expand because Mongolia and Xinjiang, I've seen it before, they've both been in alliances or factions and they've expanded in China. So it's very hard just to play Tuva because Tuva is so small and has really no capabilities of fighting for itself. The only way Tuva would ever expand into a giant empire or army is with other nations' support. I have no civilians, I have no consumer goods, I have no factories at all. 0, I have no formables, obviously. I have no production. I start with 7,500 guns. Afghanistan is probably stronger than me when it comes to, you know, manpower and everything. I'll declare on Russia. They're probably not going to invade me right now because they're busy with a civil war, but, you know... It's very hard to even play Tuva. And good luck doing a world conquest as Tuva. I don't think you would ever be able to do that because... And I can send guns to Russia. I don't know, I can't. That will work. But I'll display my units. It's 12,000, I guess, whatever 12,000 it says on for the unit, I guess, but it's 7,000, but whatever. To train my units, I would lose all my guns. That's just being honest. But Tuva is just, at the end of the day, isolated, and it's just not really important to either Russia or, in my opinion, all of the Chinese states as a whole. It's only really important, quotation marks, that weird little glitch right there, only really important for the steel that it produces. So Russia can easily just, like, if the Soviets are in Russia, they usually will storm through Tuva and get the steel, and then you can just make guns. But Xinjiang and Mongolia are easily capable to take over. So is the Anfu Fentiang, or if Japan does want to conquer all of China, can easily just grab up Tuva as like a little, a little state they can just grab easily. So can the Soviet Union, because it's so weak and isolated. But hope you guys enjoy. If you don't agree with my opinion or whatever it is, hope you guys, put your opinion in the comments. But Tuva does have some really cool flags when you change ideology, so that's pretty cool. But hope you guys enjoyed. Here's the outro, and give me your opinion on if Tuva is important or unimportant, because I think it's not really important unless for steel, and a lot of countries don't really care about it. But hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys. Hope your week's going great. It's Tuesday, I think. So yeah, bye-bye. This is, for context, this is the 1919 year, and so a fresh server for the statistics and all the equipment. But the equipment is the same. There's no factories for them. But also on Tuva, the problem is there's a Mongolian core. So that basically means that Mongolia, if it's a player, has a justification for, quotation marks, to take that province, because there's a core of their people on Tuva. So it makes more sense that way as to why it's unimportant to the whole other world, and it's very isolated, and it's, usually dominated by other countries, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a backwater.